insane. But transitioning to our favorite part of the show, this is our On the Bench segment, and we had a couple different contenders this week. I toyed with the idea of putting R. Kelly on the bench, Hugh Freeze, the Ole Miss coach that was forced to resign the other day. And, of course, the story that broke yesterday, Kyrie Irving. I'm going to go ahead and put Kyrie Irving on the bench. That's right.
Oh, my God.
Against the wishes of our special guest, Ronnie Robinson, I'm going to put Kyrie Irving on the bench for a lot of the reasons that Sean explained earlier. Kyrie Irving, no one has ever questioned your competitive fire. No one has ever questioned your talent as a top 5 talent in this league. You may be the best isolation basketball player in the world today. Kyrie Irving, absolutely. But for you to want to request a trade, okay, after the NBA draft, after free agency has already started and a lot of that dust has already settled, for you to say that you want to be traded now, number one, shows signs that you're still very immature. It shows signs that this request was indeed, as Sean mentioned earlier, an emotional request. Because if you really would have thought this all the way through, you would have broke this news during the NBA draft so that the Cavs could have had more bargaining chips on the table. So clearly this is an emotional thing. Number two, for you to want to be the man when you're playing with the best basketball player, a guy that will be on the Mount Rushmore of basketball players, for you to say that you want to go elsewhere because you can't play with LeBron James. LeBron James, a guy that's been criticized for being too passive, who so-called didn't want the last second shot, a guy that didn't want to grab the bull by the horns. LeBron basically gave you free reign and said, listen, Kyrie, you can go out there, get your buckets. We need you as a scorer. Okay, we need you as an isolation basketball player. I will simply play the facilitator, and I will impose my will when I need to impose my will. For you not to be able to play with that guy, regardless of whether he's going to be leaving or not, for you not to want to play with him shows that you're still have these delusions of grandeur in your head about being the man. And as Sean pointed out earlier, we see the statistics that you had in terms of wins and losses before LeBron got there. When LeBron sits down or when LeBron is hurt, we see what the record is when it's just you out there. That Cavs team is a sub-500 team. Oh, and by the way, you also said that you wanted to potentially go to San Antonio. Well, let me see if I got this straight. Greg Popovich and LeBron James have a mutual affection for each other that is a lot deeper than any relationship that you've had with any one of your coaches. So you mean to tell me that Greg Popovich is looking at the fact that you don't want to play with LeBron because you want to be the man, but yet you want to try to go to San Antonio and mix with another guy that they have who people consider a top 5 player in Kawhi Leonard, a guy that plays defense, by the way. You want to go to San Antonio and somehow be the man there in a Greg Popovich system? Absolutely ridiculous. I think at this point, you are overestimating your own value. Again, you are one of the top isolation basketball players in the league, but guess what? Championships aren't won from ISO ball. Championships are won by great defense. Championships are won by someone being the alpha male, aka the leader of a basketball team. And when you've had your opportunity to lead the Cleveland Cavaliers, have you exhibited those alpha male characteristics and great leadership qualities that LeBron has? No. So for that, I'd like to say, Kyrie Irving, sit on the bench. I don't want you to go to Minnesota. I don't want you to go to San Antonio. Okay? I darn near don't want you to go to Miami because Spoelstra has got a good thing developing with some of those players down there. You know, if you go anywhere, maybe you could go to that dysfunctional conglomerate known as the New York Knicks. Okay, but I hate to see you beefing with Kristaps Porzingis, who is actually the man in New York right now. So Kyrie, sit on the bench. And by the way, the earth is not flat. And by the way, you don't get props from me for talking trash to Coach K. As much as I despise Coach K, Kyrie, you as a freshman, a 19-year-old out of East Orange, New Jersey, you don't deserve to talk trash to Coach K. So, legend. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's been episode 11 for all.
He didn't wear his jersey while you said that.
That's been episode 11 for Off the Bench. For myself, Javone Tavares, for Kevin Cornegay, Sean Dustin, and our special guest, Ronnie Robinson.
Hey, thank you guys for having me.
We bid you adieu, and we will see you next week.